Greetings, YouTube. Happy Sunday. Were you asking for a Tier 1 Alpha deal? You weren't. Well, who cares? Because you got it. But were you asking for a Tier 2 Alpha deal? Well, maybe. We've got deals to talk about today. We have a chance to really discuss some Alpha Catalyst bundles. And this is always, of course, especially if you are uncollected, as that is mostly who sees all the deals now. Every once in a while, there'll be a Cavalier-only deal that's normally pretty much trash. It's just for the whales to buy more Tier 5 class Catalyst fragment crystals. But in general, we have a couple of deals that we're going to talk about. So Tier 1 Alpha Catalysts, I still think at most, you could argue these things are like $1 a piece, especially with the Glory Store changes that we love so much. But if you plan on taking up a 5-star to like even rank 3, if you get them, let's say you get a Sunspot, since I'm going to just pick a champion I'd be very jealous if you got, since I cannot pull Sunspot to save my life. If you got a Sunspot, you would want to take them to rank 3, but that would cost you 15 Tier 1 Alphas to the point that you could have a maxed out inventory and then you could go down to 0 in one rank up that fast. And you can see that's probably what would happen to me, although I do have quite a few of these also in my overflow. I'm not going to lie. This thing should be $5. If you made this $5 and you threw in the 10,000 gold and the Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, I would imagine a lot of people would buy this. $5 is a small price to pay for some more Tier 1 Alphas, especially if you have a 5-star that you want to rank up soon. But $10 is pretty pricey, because 15 Tier 1 Alphas should not cost you $30. Keep in mind, as I just discussed in the Glory Store, if you are to use that Glory, you can get one for 220 Glory, which given I think is a bit of a ripoff now if you're Cavalier, because Tier 4 Basic are much more difficult to get on average, and a 60 Glory change in that first tier of a purchase is just not that much. But at the same time, I get how easy it is to run out of these things. Okay, but let's go to the Tier 2s. At best, we have seen bundles where Tier 2s are now about $25 a piece. Or you get 4 for an Odin, which is awesome because you need 4 Tier 2 Alphas to take a 5-star to rank 4. Now, they might think that they're being cute by offering Tier 4 class Catalyst at a price of $20 a piece. And I say this knowing two things. This does not include tax, and most importantly, as the comments always seem to remind me, if you actually are somebody who lives in a country that the dollar is weak against, which is a lot of countries out there, it's a lot more than just $40. So I say that talking as if you're an American viewer, but a lot of my viewers, and I very much appreciate it, are not from America. So those are always the two standard disclaimers. Now, as always, sometimes people say, Prof, I'm tempted to get this just for the gold. And even though 250,000 gold for $40 is not a great amount of gold, keep in mind that for every $10 worth of purchases, I expect 100,000 gold, which is also why the right side is so pathetic. That should be 100,000 gold for $10, not 10,000. 10,000 is such a laughably small amount of gold. How much should this Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst bundle be? Well, if you wanted it to be a really good deal, it would be $20, but I think with the Tier 4 class Catalyst crystals, it's pretty unrealistic, but it's at least $10 overpriced. $29.99 is a more reasonable price for this. And I say this every time, but now that we know that there is such a thing in the game called a Tier 4 class Catalyst selector, where you choose the Tier 4 class Catalyst, that's just infinitely a better value than the 1 out of 6 RNG that you have to pray to RNGesus, though RNGesus is going to betray you when you spin these things out. You're going to be aiming for 1 or 2 classes, and you're not going to get that class. You're going to get every class but that on average. It's just the way the algorithm works on your account. So because of that, I don't really look at those as much value, because you can't lean on a guarantee of that for the cash. And $40 is the price that a lot of console games are. So when you start talking about that price, you want to talk about things that you get guaranteed value, not just something that you're praying actually turns out well. So I think this is a great deal if it's $20, a fair deal if it's $30, and a pretty big ripoff if it's $40 at this point in the game. So I'm going to give both these offers, really, both of them, D minuses. They're 60%. They're not the worst thing we've ever seen. And maybe it's because Kabam's put out so many trash deals in 2020 that like the definition of a failing grade has actually gotten even lower than this. But they're both as close to Fs as possible. It's just, they're just overpriced. The right side should be $5. The left side should be at most $30. And then we would have at least B grades. But the difference between a B and a D is very significant, especially when you consider that so many people cannot afford to spend money right now on the game. And so you really want to incentivize people even more to buy a good deal, not an average or below average at best deal. End of rant. I hope my grading videos, as always, helped inform your decisions. And I also enjoy, even though I've got to go jump on a conference call, putting this as a premiere stream that kind of pops up as a live stream so that people can comment back and forth and discuss their thoughts on it. I think it gives you, the subscriber and the viewer, more interaction with my videos, and that is exciting. That's a feature that YouTube has added recently that I really enjoyed, and I've received, overall positive feedback that you prefer that to be the format of these offer reviews, since a lot of people will come to my channel looking for my grading on this before you purchase it, and I appreciate it. D minuses, you could easily argue Fs, but we're going to go with 60%, the lowest of a D before you get to an F. Missed opportunity again, Kabam. What else is new in 2020?